can all agree that Black Panther is perhaps one of the most recognizable Black characters in comics. And although Black Panther may have paved the way for more Black characters to be showcased in comics, particularly Marvel, what if I were to tell you that there was a Black hero that predates Black Panther's first appearance in Fantastic Four?
Meet Lion Man. He's an African-American adventurer with supernatural powers, debuting in All Negro Comics #1 all the way back in 1947 by Orion C. Evan. Lion Man was a comic that featured the titular hero as an African-American born, college-educated scientist who was sent by the United Nations to safeguard Magic Island on the coast of Africa. His mission was to protect the largest deposit of uranium that could contribute to the atomic bomb capable of destroying the world. He is accompanied by his adopted son and sidekick Bubba, and often faces off against the villainous Dr. Blue Sangro, who attempts to use uranium for his own nefarious needs. Now, if that sounds familiar, you wouldn't be wrong in thinking that this sounds a lot like Black Panther and Claw. In fact, the similarities are notable that Black Panther and Claw's first appearance in Fantastic Four 19 years later. Now, I'm not saying that Stan Lee ripped off the character, no, but what I am going to say and what I thought is it'd be interesting to give a spotlight to a comic that may have inspired Black Panther. When the comic starts, we don't know the exact origin of how this college-educated man began working with the United Nations, but we rather are thrusted right into the story. He is a Tarzan-esque hero who operates within his highly sophisticated hut in Magic Island with his sidekick Bubba, who is his mischievous Robin. I say that in quotations. When upon learning of a ship approaching an area, he goes to investigate. On patrol, he discovers two strangers, one the criminal Brozer, who matches him strength for strength, and the mysterious Dr. Sangro, who just wants the uranium for the sake of having it. When warned that the area is restricted, Dr. Sangro and Lion Man have a confrontation in which hands are thrown. The day is saved and Dr. Sangro vows revenge. Lion Man appeared in print long before Black Panther, as previously stated, in the Black Green Lantern, making him one of the first, if not the first, Black superhero. But beyond being the first, he could also be considered the greatest Black superhero for several important reasons. Before explaining why Lion Man deserves this title, it's important to define what greatest means here. In this case, greatest does not refer to physical strength or power. This is not about comic book debates over whether Superman could defeat Thor in a fight. No, Lion Man earns that title of greatest because he broke new ground in 5 major ways. One of these ways was by placing a Black hero in Africa. While Black Panther would later do this in 1966, Lion Man had already done it 21 years prior. The second groundbreaking achievement of Lion Man was his portrayal as a strong, positive Black hero in 1947. At this time, Black characters in comics and other entertainments were usually limited to stereotypes or sidekick roles. The third way, Lion Man stood out through his villains he faced, specifically a person like Dr. Sangro and his assistant Brozer. Seeing a Black hero face these kind of enemies in this time and day was not common until decades later, such as in 1968, The Heat of the Night film with Sidney Poitier's character Virgil Tibbs famously striking a white man in the face. A fourth groundbreaking element of Lion Man was his intelligence. He wasn't just a fighter, he was also a scientist. From the outside, his African grass hut looked ordinary, but inside it functioned as a high-tech laboratory. It was filled with radar systems, communication tools, spy equipment, and scientific instruments like beakers and chemicals similar to what you would find in a Batcave. At a time when Black characters were often portrayed as unintelligent, showing a highly intelligent African American hero was very powerful. This kind of portrayal wouldn't be seen again until 1968's In the Heat of the Night, where Virgil Tibbs outsmarts the townspeople. The fifth way Lion Man also broke ground was through his mission. As an agent of the United Nations, his secret duty was to protect Africa and the entire world. When Lion Man debuted in 1947, the world was still shaken by the devastating power of the atomic bomb, and the United Nations had been formed in 1945 to promote peace, security, and human rights after World War II. This mission reflected global concerns at the time. Because of this, Lion Man was created to give readers a sense of safety in a world threatened by nuclear destruction. As long as Lion Man and his partner Bubba guarded Africa's dangerous minerals, readers could believe no warmongering nation would gain access to atomic power. When you combine all these traits, his intelligence, martial arts training, advanced technology, United Nations backing, Lion Man truly earns the title of the first and greatest black superhero. The first issue of Action Comics in 1938 features several characters such as Zatara the Magician, Pep Morgan, and Tex Thompson, and someone named Superman. Over time, Superman became the only character to remain. In 1947, Warren C. Evans published All Negro Comics, which featured Ace Harlem, Dude Dilly's Egbert, and a hero named Lion Man. Unfortunately, All Negro Comics did not continue long enough for Lion Man to become the sole focus. The series ended in 1947. The comic's cancellation was not due to a lack of effort. Evans and his African-American staff had completed a second issue, but it was never printed because suppliers suddenly refused to sell his newsprint. Reports suggest that larger, white-owned publishers blocked his access to resources. Unable to continue publishing, Evans returned to journalism, where he achieved major success, including being an editor for 2 newspapers and director of the Philadelphia Press Association. While his career was inspiring, comic book fans lost a chance to see Lion Man grow and evolve like other superheroes did. Many classic superheroes began as simple, child-focused comics, later evolved into complex, artistically rich graphic novels for adults, and it would have been fascinating to see Lion Man take that same journey. Imagine Lion Man adapting to modern times, raising more questions. Who would his enemy be today? What technology would he use? How would Bubba change? We might have also wondered about Lion Man's past before joining the United Nations, new allies he could have met, or whether a Lion Woman could have appeared just like Supergirl and Batgirl did for Superman and Batman respectively. Sadly, we'll never know how Lion Man's story might have continued. However, the success of Marvel's Black Panther in 2018 proves that Warren C. Evans was far ahead of its time when he introduced the heroic Lion Man.
But what do you think? Do you think that it's time for Lion Man to make his return? Let me know in the comments below. I'd be interested to hear what you say. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, all those YouTube things. And I'm Anderson, and I've been out.